lumabas si VP Sara. Naglabas siya ng video. I'm not sure with the year, 2023 or 2024. Naglabas siya ng video na ang may hawak lang pala ng pera ng Pilipinas ay si Martin Romualdez and si Zaldico. Dahil during that time when VP Sara was still the DepEd Secretary, 5 billion lang ang hiningi nilang project for classroom constructions and repair, ang nilagay ni Martin Romualdez and ni Zaldico, 20 billion. So there are additional 15 billion sa budget na yan. So ang mangyayari, if during the COA audit, 20 billion ang binigay namin sa iyo, ang hiningi mo lang is 5 billion. Saan napunta ang 15 billion? Ang i-blame na naman nila is si VP Sara. That's exactly the reason why VP Sara resigned from the Department of Education, because she doesn't want to be part of the money-making scheme of Martin Romualdez and Zaldico.
Shout out us Reaction Vlog, YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. Mabuhay kayo.
So before our flight here, before yung flight namin ni Paulo papunta dito sa Netherlands, I was informed na there is an ongoing demolition effort against VP Inday Sara. Ang next target nila is to connect her with the contractors involved sa infrastructure projects ng DPWH. Bakit? Ang reason is to put all the blame to the Duterte family and to bury the real issue that is crawling within the Marcos administration. So firstly, the first one who attempted that demolition job is ang Rappler. Alam naman talaga natin ang Rappler. So they wrote an article of a certain contractor from Davao City linking it to VP Sara. Ang sinasabi ng Rappler na yon is campaign funder daw ni VP Sara. Now, Filipinos, sa aking mga kapwa kababayan, yung pagpa-fund ng campaign is not new. Are you aware na ang general manager ng PCSO ng Lotto natin, na si Mel Robles, is also one of the highest campaign managers of Bongbong Marcos? Bakit walang attack against him? Because again, the goal is to eliminate the Duterte family sa equation so that VP Sara will be permanently banned from holding a public office. Aside from that, there are also flood control projects contractors who spent millions of money to fund the campaign of Bongbong Marcos. Pero ano ang ginawa nila to bury everything? They use Escudero. Si Escudero ang ginawa nila na may contractor daw na nagbigay kay Escudero ng 20 million para sa campaign niya. So there is no discussion about the Marcoses anymore. Because what they are doing to the country is that they are fooling the Filipinos and they are doing all their diversion tactics to make it appear that the Marcos administration is doing their very best to combat the corruption in our country, when in fact, Bongbong Marcos is the biggest enabler of the corruption or the scheme of the money-making scheme that his administration has done to the Filipino people. Bongbong!
Resign!
Marcos!
Resign!
Bongbong!
Resign!
Marcos!
Resign!
Very good. Gusto ko yung may mga kulto ako dito. Okay. Now, on to my next argument. Sinasabi ng Bongbong Marcos administration na kinurap ni VP Sara ang 125 million na confidential fund niya. So just in case you guys are not really so aware of what has happened during that time, in 2022, because I used to work as the speechwriter of VP Sara in the Office of the Vice President. So, in 2022, Bongbong Marcos made VP Sara as the vice co-chairperson of the NTF-ELCAC. Ang NTF-ELCAC, it's an agency that is tasked to fight the insurgency or yung mga rebelde, mga NPA, makakaliwang grupo na nagre-recruit ng mga kabataan at pumupunta sila sa mga kabundukan at nagre-rebellion. Di ba? Ginawa siyang vice co-chairperson. And at the same time, at that time, VP Sara accepted or assumed office as the Secretary of the Department of Education. So as you can see, aside from her role as the duly elected Vice President of the country, she is also the Vice Co-Chairperson of the NTF-ELCAC and at the same time the Secretary of the Department of Education. Now when she assumed office, she found out that there are many child abuse cases that are happening in the Department of Education unresolved. And under our law, one of the things that could help her out do the surveillance is the confidential fund. That is why in August of 2022, the confidential fund was asked in the office of the President. Because again, since August of 2022 until December of 2022, the projects and programs to resolve the problems of gangsterism, child abuse cases in DepEd, the recruitment of minors in our elementary and high schools, public high schools, and at the same time, yung implementation and projects of the Office of the Vice President were already implemented in August of 2022. Kailan ni-release ni Bongbong Marcos ng Office of the President ang confidential fund? December of 2022. Na kung saan VP only has few days remaining para gastusin yung pera for the projects that have already been implemented in August of 2022. So ang sinasabi nila, we will attack you. Di ba? Why can't you not discuss publicly how did you use or how did you utilize the confidential fund? VP Sara is not doing so because there will be criminal and civil liabilities na pwedeng ma-file sa kanya. Because discussing the confidential fund would endanger our national security. Yes. Why? Bakit? Kasi when you discuss that, for example, NPA ako, under surveillance ako, pero yung informant ko pala ay yung kaibigan ko. Yung informant ko pala is my friend, siya yun, hey VP, yan NPA yan, nangre-recruit yan sa kabataan. So, lumabas ang mga pangalang Mary Grace Piatos. And nung lumabas ang mga pangalang Mary Grace Piatos as code name because VP cannot divulge publicly the real name of the people. For example, kaibigan kita, ikaw pala ang trumidor sa akin, papatayin kita. Di ba ganyan? So that's the consequence kung sinabi niya yon. So ang nangyari is my code names like the Mary Grace Piatos, yung Nova, ganyan. But there are really real names under the documents, confidential documents that VP Sara is also not allowed to discuss publicly. Pero ang ginamit nila is they check sa PSA, chinek nila if those names really exist. Because the goal really is to taint or to malign the reputation of VP Sara. Kailan ba nalaman na there are 16 public schools, public national high schools in Metro Manila na kung saan may mga teachers na nagre-recruit ng mga students? It was only during VP Sara's time. In August of 2022 to December of 2022. Ang DepEd, because of the child abuse cases na binigay kay VP Sara that are still unresolved when she assumed office, ang ginawa niya, she created the LRPO office of the DepEd na kung saan pwede mong isumbong diretso na sa DepEd ang problema. Wag mo nang idaan sa principal, wag mo nang idaan sa teacher because yung DepEd na mismo ang mag-i-investigate, ang mag-surveillance if ano talaga ang pangyayari. Diba? Ang ganda ng projects, ang ganda ng programa, pero inattack nila si VP Sara. But there was a floating information in 2022 na gusto nilang makipag-reconcile kay VP Sara. Hey, we will not attack you anymore. We will not make a big deal out of that confidential fund na binigay namin sa iyo. But you have to be one of us. Dapat samahan niyo kami sa corruption namin, sa pambababoy namin sa pera ng taong bayan. But wait, VP Sara said, no. Instead, in 2023, September of 2023, if I am not mistaken, lumabas si VP Sara. Naglabas siya ng video. I'm not sure with the year, 2023 or 2024. Naglabas siya ng video na ang may hawak lang pala ng pera ng Pilipinas ay si Martin Romualdez and si Zaldico. Dahil during that time when VP Sara was still the DepEd Secretary, 5 billion lang ang hiningi nilang project for classroom constructions and repair, ang nilagay ni Martin Romualdez and ni Zaldico, 20 billion. So there are additional 15 billion sa budget na yan. So ang mangyayari, if during the COA audit, 20 billion ang binigay namin sa iyo, ang hiningi mo lang is 5 billion. Saan napunta ang 15 billion? Ang i-blame na naman nila is si VP Sara. That's exactly the reason why VP Sara resigned from the Department of Education, because she doesn't want to be part of the money-making scheme of Martin Romualdez and Zaldico. But is Bongbong Marcos absolved from the issue? No. In 2025, in January of 2025, some lawmakers found out that there are blank spaces in the bicameral report. And kung may blank spaces yan, meaning to say, pwede mo lang lagyan yan ng budget na hindi approved by the bicameral committee. So ang nangyari, na-find out na may blank spaces. Now, Isidro Ungab, Congressman Isidro Ungab and Attorney Vic Rodriguez, they found out that aside from the blank spaces of the bicameral report, meron pa palang isang problema. The enrolled bill is unsigned. Kung ang enrolled bill is unsigned, meaning to say, hindi siya na, verify ng Kongreso. But they sent it to the office of the President. And what is wrong? At that time sana, kung president ka, if nasa tamang pag-iisip ka pa, you would check, di ba? Oh, let me check. How true na may mga blank spaces sa bicameral report? Ito, tingnan ko. How true na unsigned ang enrolled bill? Ito, tingnan ko. Pero ano ang ginawa ni BBM? Instead of scrutinizing completely the enrolled bill, the BICAM report, he signed the 2025 General Appropriations Act. And ano ang laman ng General Appropriations Act? Maraming budget insertions. And saan napunta ang budget insertions? Sa flood control projects. So ang ginagawa nila ngayon, because nabisto na sila ang may kagagawa ng lahat, and it was Bongbong Marcos who enabled everything, yung mga corruption scheme ni Martin Romualdez and ni Zaldico, binabalik nila sa mga Duterte. If you guys have noticed, I know that you guys are very busy, and if you guys have not watched the Senate hearing about it, and the House of Representatives hearing about it, they are trying to go back to 2016 to 2022. Who was the president at that time? Duterte. So it's a pattern. So kung yung mga kababayan natin na nanonood ngayon, think rationally and remove your biases. Kahit Duterte, maka-Duterte ka man or anti-Duterte ka, tingnan mo yung issue as it is. Do not think it because of the political color. You have to understand na kung saan ngayon marami yung nalunod sa baha. Dahil nga, flood control projects do not exist during the Marcos administration. And what did he say during his SONA? 5,500 flood control projects were completed. Nasaan ang flood control projects? Diba? At ito pa, diba recently, September 21, in 2017, it was Tatay Digong who made it as a day of national protest day. Because gusto niya that the government should be held accountable of their shortcomings, of their wrongdoings and everything. So in 2020, in September 21, just very recently, we are expecting that Filipinos will come out and hold him accountable. Pero ano ang nangyari? They don't want Marcos to resign. Dahil si VP Sara will benefit from that. Because under the 1987 Constitution, rule of succession, if the president is incapable of, or yung if patay na yung president, it would be the vice president who will become the next president. So who would benefit? VP Sara. So ano yung sigaw nila? Panagutin si VP Sara. Putang ina ninyong lahat, di ba? Putang ina. Kayo talaga, yung mga kakamputa dyan, mga yawa kayong lahat. Oo. Diba? So kung nakikita nyo, it's an undeniable pattern of diverting the issues to the Duterte because they know exactly that Dutertes have solid followers across the globe. And dito natin yung mapoprove na yun. Diba? Ang dami ninyo. Nasa Austria, from Germany, from US. Kanina may nakausap ako from Vancouver, Canada. Across the universe, across the globe. Pumunta kayo dito just to show your support. And this is the kind of support that Bongbong Marcos does not have. That's why nakipag-piggyback siya kay VP Sara in 2022 so that the Duterte political base would be converted and it would be added to the loyalists.
Yeah.
But do not lose hope. Why? Because VP Sara has 32 million strong followers and voters. Bongbong Marcos, 31 million. But without VP Sara, that would be impossible. At some point, let's be honest, let's be blunt. We are blaming VP Sara, di ba?
Yeah.
Because in 2022, we are all expecting that she's gonna run for president. But then, nag-step backward siya. One step backward. Naging vice president siya. And we gave Bongbong Marcos the chance to lead after 36 years. Because we thought that change and continuity is coming. But yung change pala ay change of leadership. Ang duly elected President of the Philippines is the underdog of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Under the saya of the First Lady, Araneta Marcos.
Very under.
Diba? So ito yung story about that flood control project. So if you guys are seeing a number of news highlighting the Dutertes in 2016 up until 2022, deadma. Huwag nyo yang isipin, huwag nyo yang patulan. It's just a diversion tactic. Ang dapat nating pagtuunan ng pansin ngayon is yung billions of money that have been pocketed by our politicians and their mafia in the House of Representatives. Again, it is Duterte who protected us from corrupt politicians. He protected us from the hands of the criminals. And he saved lives from the hands of the terrorists. But it is Tatay Digong who is currently detained in the ICC because he saved his nation from drowning into the effect of illegal substance.
Yes.
Pero hindi pa huli ang lahat, mga kababayan ko, mga minamahal kong mga Pilipino. We still have one strong contender for 2028. And that is Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. We should protect her at all cost. We should show our enemies that we have the numbers. We are labeled trolls, paid attack dogs, and we are getting a number of legal harassments, legal cases coming from different politicians. But as you can see, we continue with our fight because we believe that you guys are here supporting us from behind. And we appreciate every effort, every help that you guys send us, every prayer na ginagawa ninyo para sa amin. Ang laban na ito ay hindi laban lamang ng mga Duterte supporters. Ang laban natin ay para sa Diyos,
Para sa Pilipinas.
para sa bawat pamilyang Pilipino, at bawat mamamayang Pilipino. Maraming salamat po. And once again, I'm Tio Moreno. Thank you so much.
Ang ganda. O, ngayon, alam nyo na kung saan napunta yung confidential fund. Tama? So, dapat talaga we should protect our Vice President. We should. Always pray for her.